Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Systems of government. We're going to talk about 3 different systems of government in this video, and really how they're set up and the structure with these different systems. The first one is a unitary system. You can see here on this graph, we've got the national government, which is going to be the strongest government in the country, and the states are going to be subordinate to the unitary system. In a federation, they're going to have the people, and it's going to be the states and the national government. They're going to really have kind of back and forth power. And then a confederation is going to be opposite of a unitary system where the states have the majority of the power over top of the national government. Okay, so we're going to go into detail on each of these right here. First and foremost, the unitary system of government. The definition of a unitary system of government is a state governed as a single player in which the central government is ultimately supreme. So the central government of the country, they're going to be the ones that ultimately have authority over everything within the state. Okay, this works particularly well in a small country that is very, very similar. Now, the pros of this is going to promote national unity. When you are the same system of government, you are patriotic and you have your same system of government. All parts of the country are going to be under the same law as well, which means you go from one point of the country to another. The laws are going to be the same. They're not going to be changing. And that can be problematic in certain parts of the world that don't have the system of government where you go from one side to another and the laws change and you didn't know they changed. And now suddenly you're in trouble because of something you did not know. Now the cons, because every system of government is going to have a con, every system of government is going to have a pro, is the broad policies might not always address the individual needs. What's going on in one part of the country might not be addressed in these broad policies meant to impact the entire country. Additionally, it's kind of more challenging for officials to address individual needs simply because you can't really focus on the individual as much in this system because it's all about the individual power of the country versus the individual power of individual states and small things. Okay, examples of this could be China, Bahrain, or France. Okay, 3 different countries, all very different and distinct countries in their own ways that have different unitary systems of government. The next one we're going to talk about is a federal system of government. A federal system of government, the definition, is a system of dividing up power between a central national government and local state governments that are connected to one another by the national government. Okay, so this is going to be happening right through here. You're going to have laws that are going to really be shared and divided between the state and the national government. Okay, so you look right here, this is exactly how it's set up within the United States of America. You've got certain things that only the national government can do. Okay, the state of Montana can't go declare war on Canada. That simply cannot happen. The United States on the other side could go and declare war on Canada. However, when we talk about like marriage laws, that's going to be left up to the individual state. The United States cannot decide what they can and cannot do when it comes to marriage. Providing for public safety is going to be something that ultimately comes down to the state, because how you provide for public safety in a state like Delaware is going to be very different than how you provide for public safety in a state like South Dakota. Okay, things are going to be different, and therefore it's going to be set up a little bit differently. But each system of, or each different group, so to speak, is going to have their own things they need to do, like borrow money, levy taxes, and maintain law and order. Get this out of there, okay? The pros of the system of government is going to allow for adaptations in a large, complex country. So a small country like Bahrain, this probably wouldn't work as well, simply because things are pretty much the same on the north part of the island as they are in the south part of the island. If you go to somewhere like the United States of America, New England is very, very different than Southern California. Alaska is very different than Tennessee, and this is going to allow for some diversity. Okay, what you need in Alaska is not going to be necessarily what you need in Massachusetts. Okay, things are going to be different. Additionally, it's going to allow for a diversity of ideas. You've got some places that are going to be very conservative, wanting to do some things, some places very liberal, wanting to do some things as well. The cons of this is it can lead to competing laws. You might have one law or something that's legal in one spot and not legal in another. Okay, an example of this would be marijuana within the United States. Okay, in a number of states, it is legal to recreationally smoke marijuana. On a federal level, that's still considered illegal. So it's technically illegal, even though it's considered legal. There could also be conflict between national and state government, where the national government is going to say, do this, the state government is going to say, don't tell me what to do, I'm not doing that, and this is going to cause some conflict. Some examples you can see right here in the United States of America, as I've extensively talked about due to my background as an American. Russia is also going to be this way. Ironically, the United States and Russia always getting along perfectly, and then India as well. Right here you can see a different map of countries based upon unitary or federal system. Everything on this map in green is going to be a federal system of government. Everything in blue is going to be a unitary system of government. You can see the makeup right here. North America is pretty much extensively federal due to the three large countries that make it up, compared to somewhere like Africa, which is predominantly Unitarian. The final one we're going to talk about is a Confederate system of government. A Confederate system of government is more or less a permanent union of states with some or most political power vested in a central authority. Now, the pros of a confederacy. Number one, it allows for unity without giving up power. So the individual state is going to have a lot of power still, but they're still going to be unified. Okay, so you might have your own individual place. You are proud to be from there. You're going to have your own unique ability to really stay in charge, but you're not going to give up your power to a strong central government. Regional governments are going to have the ability to address individual needs. So a problem that's addressing a simple group of people, the regional government can address that because it's smaller, individualized for a specific area, and it's going to prevent the rise of authoritarian states, because you can't really have a dictatorship when you have power spread up amongst a bunch of different people where everyone has equal rights, more to speak. Now, the cons of this, you have a weak central government, meaning it sometimes can be hard to get stuff done on a national level. Additionally, it can lead to conflicts between regions. So you might have one part of a country saying we want one thing, another part of a country saying we want another thing, and this can lead to some conflicts, fighting, and tension, which is really not a good thing if you have going on in a country. Examples of this are Belgium and Switzerland. The United States was this way before the Constitution came about. During the American Civil War, the South was a confederacy. So you have some countries that are confederacies. There's really not a lot of confederacies around in the world today. Right here you can see the different breakup of the systems of government right here. Unitary, you've got the central government in charge, which is then going to delegate power to the local and state system. You got the confederal one in the middle. Central government is going to be smaller than the local and state, and the federal system where the local and state are going to have equal amount of power back and forth. That is all for now. Questions, comments, put them down below. Otherwise, I'll see you later, and good luck.